have met to worship and adore the Lord our God. Will you pray with all your power while we try to preach the word? All is vain unless the Spirit of the Holy One comes down. Brethren, pray and holy manna will be showered all around. Sisters, will you join to help us? Moses' sister aided him. Will you help the trembling mourners who are struggling hard with sin? Tell them all about the Savior. Tell them that He will be found. Sisters, pray and holy manna will be showered all around. All right, taking a little bit of time out of my day to take a look at this hymn, Brethren, we have met to worship, and I was on the way yesterday to a pastor's fellowship, had my guitar with me, and the pastor there that heads the thing up asked me to bring my guitar and to lead a congregational song or two with the other men, and so I brought my guitar, and I realized another purpose for this channel is just to have a reminder of how I played the guitar and the chords that I used on a particular hymn, and it is a useful tool. So I went through and scrolled through my videos and found a hymn that I wanted to do, was reminded of the chords, and it was just a help. So hopefully it'll be a help like that to you. You're also going to need your songbook, so ask your preacher for an old songbook, and then I mark on the outside it's for guitar, and then I have on the inside my hymns, and I write in with a pencil the chords above the words, and then a reminder of where to place my capo if I'm using a capo. I have here a Kaiser, and these are decent capos depending on your guitar. There are better ones out there, Shub and so on. But I keep a capo with me in my case, and I keep a list of songs, and I have here a packet of songs that I can use, take with me on the go, and staple together. So I'm always ready to go and to be a blessing. I've consecrated my life to the Lord and also all of my gifts, and I encourage you to do the same and take the gifts that you have and just be a blessing to God's people. Now, stick with me to the end of the video. I want to teach you a little bit about how to mark up your songbook. At the top left-hand corner of your page, you'll find these symbols. This is the treble clef, and as you've learned so far, if you've been following these videos, this symbol right here, this is a sharp, and sometimes you'll see flat cymbals, but this sharp here, if you have a single sharp, that means you're in the key of G, so you're going to use the G family of chords. That tells you what to do with your left hand if you're playing guitar normally, right-handed guitar. This tells you what to do with your chording hand. And this 4/4, this is the time signature, and this tells you what to do with your right hand. I've written out a strumming pattern that you can use, or you can use a different one that you'd like, but this is a basic strumming pattern, and it has 1, 2, and 3, 4, and that's because the top number here is a 4. So this is the only number that we're interested in. This really isn't difficult, and I hope you'll take the time to learn this. There's a lot of things you can learn on YouTube, and you can learn some basic music theory, but I'm going to give you everything that you really need to know right here. The top number is a 4. That tells you that there has to be 4 counts per measure. So I have a 4-count strumming pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. The first count is just a down strum. So I'm just strumming down like that, or you can make that first count a bass strum, just hitting the bass note. For a G chord, for example, it's the 6th string, the low string. That's the bass note. and then down up on the 2 and then on the 3rd beat, another bass note, excuse me, and that's your open 4th string if you're on a G chord, your open 4th string or your D string. So, and then 4 and down up, or you can just do down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. So on your guitar, for example, on that G chord, it would be a 4/4 strum like this. Bass is the 6th string, down, up, and then bass on the 4th string, down, up. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and then on D, the bass note on 1 is on the 4th string, bass, down, up, and then bass, down, up, again on the 4th string. Same thing with D7. If you're playing E minor in this song, we're just doing the down strum, and then D chord, down strum, and then back to G, down. All right, so we'll go through the chords now, and we'll finish up this video on Brethren We Have Met to Worship. So you take a pencil, I recommend a pencil, and write in these chords above the words, and these chords go right along with the hymn book, so if you're playing with a piano player, you have the same chording ahead of you. Also on my left here, you'll notice that there are some chords here. E minor, if you're not familiar with that. G over D. There's a quick change between G over D. That's just a G chord with a D in the bass. So you're just going to play these 4 strings. You put your 3rd finger here on that 1st string, 3rd fret, and you play these other 3 strings open. That goes from G with a D in the bass. You strum on that once, and then to D7, if you're not familiar with that already, D7, which also has a D in the bass. So that is a chord change that has this D in the bass through 2 chords. And that, you need to be able to do that to go along with what the piano is playing. And so that's one of the benefits to this channel as well. You can learn how to play guitar and go right along with the piano player. Many other songbooks and other videos that you find for these hymns, they're not put into the right key, the correct key for congregational singing. So if you were to learn them and then come into church and play along with another musician out of a hymn book, they might say you're not playing in the right key, and then ask you to change. So, all right, so now let's go through these words. I'll go through the first verse and just tell you the chord and the word to put it above, or the syllable to put it above. So we'll start with G, brethren. On top of brethren, met is D, met to worship and adore. The Lord our God is, Lord is that G with the D in the bass, Lord, and then D7, our, and then G, just a regular G, God, like that. Lord our God, Lord our God, like that. Then will is G chord, all, D, all your power, while we try to, and on this, preach is E minor, preach, the, D chord, and then word, G, word. All is vain, G, all is vain unless the Spirit on spear, D7, it, G, of the Holy One comes down, D chord. Then brethren, G chord, pray in holy, on holy is D, holy, manna, and then on will, G, will be showered. Then all is G with a D in the bass, D7, round, G. All right, there you have it. That's Brethren We Have Met to Worship. And leave your comments or your questions below. Thanks again to all the subscribers. We seem to be picking up a couple of subscribers like each month. And so yeah, let me know how you're using your guitar to lead singing.